Where are we?
Huntsville. Well, close to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have decided to come back to the trail. It has been raining and raining and raining and raining and raining for the last week, so I anticipate wet will be a theme of this hike. So come along. We are 38 miles into the trail now, so we made about 2.5 miles in an hour. It is hot and humid. There are a lot of mushrooms growing on the ground. We're taking bets to decide who's going to test them out and see if they're edible.
It's going to be Josh.
No, we're not going to eat the mushrooms. What'd you have for lunch, Brown?
Bucky's sandwich.
Josh took a big risk from a gear standpoint. Josh, what piece of gear did you leave at home?
Rain gear.
Okay, so we're taking the over-under on whether Josh was the smart one for not bringing his rain gear, or if he's gonna really, really wish he'd have brought his rain gear.
I did bring a poncho.
The forecast is 40% chance of rain today, 50% chance of rain tomorrow, and like 100% on Monday. And we're supposed to be done on Monday, so we'll see how that shakes out. All right, we just made it back into the woods, mile 45. The trail over here is definitely a little wetter, but still no puddles, so we're doing good.
Mosquitoes are real.
Mosquitoes are out, so
Anybody have bug spray?
about to have to figure that out. Forest Service Road 223. There's a couple really good spots to camp right here. We are headed eastbound, so this is obviously a great spot. But back on the other side of this intersection, maybe a quarter miles, a couple of really good spots to camp too. All right, we finally hit some swampy ground. Been waiting for this all day. At least it came with only a couple miles left. Mile 50. So we've made it to camp. We've managed to put up our tents, get all of our stuff loaded in, the great unloading of backpacks and such into the tent. We're at a primitive campground. It is technically hunting season right now, so they want us to stay in designated hiker campgrounds, so we are doing our best to adhere to that. So overall it was a good day. We hiked 16-ish miles, 16 and a half miles we think. We started at 35 or 35 and a half. I'm not exactly sure where the trailhead is. And then this is 51.2 or 3, something like that. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's definitely raining. So far, Josh has won the lotto. He is not needing his rain gear. Alright, see y'all tomorrow. Morning, day 2. Had a successful night of camping last night, a little high adventure. More about that later. It rained a lot last night, but Josh is still happy he did not bring his rain gear. And we had already stashed some gallons of water out here. We polished those off and then filled up another gallon of water, rainwater. So that was pretty handy. More updates as we go. Just past mile marker 56. I would say from mile 53 to mile 56 was a pretty wet walk. It was an exceedingly wet walk. All of us managed to get our feet wet. It was pretty boggy and muddy. Of course, it rained maybe an inch or so last night. That looks like a lunch table.
It's gotta be.
Gotta be lunch. It was meant to be.
Pretty amazing.
All right, so we got we're halfway through this section. It's a good place to stop. So this is about mile 62 and a half. And that right there is what we've been hiking through for about the last 4 miles. It has thoroughly sucked. Oh. 4 o'clock in the morning, nature was calling. So
what does that mean?
I grabbed my supplies of digging a hole and a headlamp and headed off into the dark. Did my business. I walked too far from camp. I got lost. This is not a great idea to be lost at 4 o'clock in the morning, wandering around looking for your camp when it's raining outside, starting to sprinkle again. So for about 20 minutes, I was calling.
It's about 4 a.m. and I start hearing this whistle that's somewhat rhythmic, and then it changes tones, and I'm like, that's definitely not a bird. And then I hear someone screaming, but I can't understand what it is. It sounds like Eric and John. And then I finally hear Josh say, "Are you hearing this?" I'm like, oh, maybe this is something real.
Shouting at the top of my lungs and whistling. I can whistle pretty loud. And once I figured out I was definitely lost, I decided I was not going to move from where I was. But I just kept shouting. I swear that sounded like Josh, is what we would hear. Did he say Aaron? No, that can't be it. I kept hearing John and John and Eric, nowhere near Aaron and Josh. I'm screaming their names and whistling. Finally, I start yelling help.
Then yeah, Josh gets shoes on, says, I don't know, all we're hearing is help. We should go help somebody. So Josh, being the better man, puts some clothes on. I'm getting my shoes on. Hey, maybe we should go tell Steve. How's he sleeping through all this? He already put his earplugs in. So I got my pants on and gonna go wake him up so the three of us could go over there and see what this guy was yelling help for. Go over there and look in the tent, and I'm like, oh crap, it's Steve. Not in the tent. So I immediately shine my light up.
And I see 2 headlamps point right at me. And I was probably, what, 30, 40 yards from camp? Mm-hmm. You could see my headlamp. So, it's good to hike with friends. Make sure you can see camp. Well, you definitely want to follow safe hygiene practices. You also want to make sure you make it back to your tent. And don't get rained on when you're not wearing your pants in the forest. There you go. Evergreen Baptist Church. There's a spigot right underneath the sign. They let you fill up with water. So thank you to the members of Evergreen Baptist Church for paying the water bill and allowing us to use it. That was amazing.
Slow down, speed limit.
Slow down, Brown. You're gonna get pulled over.
I'm flying high, but I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. You caught my eye, I've got a feeling I'm falling.
Good morning. What day is it?
Day 3.
How are you feeling?
Awesome. Awesome. Filled up with some Lightonium this morning. We're all in good shape.
How far are we going today?
I don't know. 15?
What's our main objective?
Get across the river without having to swim it.
Amen. And what is our strategy?
We're going to go around it. We're going to find a bridge,
Somewhere.
and we're probably going to have to bushwhack half a mile.
Sounds great. Crazy thing has happened today. There is a large celestial object in the sky. It is putting out a lot of heat. It is something we have not seen since we started this trip. But we're excited about it. Although now you start worrying about sunburn. We are road walking to take the San Jacinto bypass. Given how much it has rained recently, I'm absolutely certain that it's flooded. So we've decided to play it safe. We are going to take the alternate route, which allegedly involves some half mile of bushwhacking. So we all have phones that have GPS that have the trail mapped on it, so I'm not that worried about it. But bushwhacking is always high adventure.
Jump right through. I used to. I'm flying high, but I've got a feeling I'm falling, falling for nobody else but you. I've got a feeling I'm falling.
Apparently, if you just follow the creek down a ways, there's a bridge. That would have been better. We have finished the bushwhack portion of the San Jacinto alternate trail. Somebody has cleared that out real good, so it's really not much of a bushwhack, and it's really well marked. Somebody put orange tape up to kind of mark the path all the way once you cross the creek, all the way till you make it to the Forest Service roads out here. So we still have about a mile of Forest Service road walking to do. But if you are wanting to know how hard it is to make your way along that section, it's not bad.
I'm flying high, but show me the ring and I'll jump right through. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through.
All right, we are at mile 75. This is the Double Lakes campground. For anyone concerned, we're not packing out our trash. Trash going in, we're packing it out. We've had a sad moment for our trip. Josh has an ingrown toenail.
About to get picked up by my wife because of
That little puppy right there.
doesn't feel good at all. It's an ingrown toenail that is bleeding, getting all pussy with every day, and I just thought I could push through it, but today I really don't think I'm going to be able to make it another 20 miles today and tomorrow. So I'm calling it quits, and I will live to fight another day.
Sad day. So as you come out of this trailhead, you're going to take a slight left to the trail and not go down to those cars. Only 13 more miles to go today.
We're back. It's day four, last day. Touch and go, night of sleep. Lots of hounds in the neighborhood. Otherwise, I think we're doing pretty good. Legs aren't screaming. I think we're in good shape.
Biggest challenge is to get where we need to go by the time we need to get there. We've gone about 4 miles in an hour and a half. We were at 83.55 this morning. We're probably a quarter or half mile past mile marker 87. So feeling pretty good about the pace. That's a hiker campsite at mile 83.55 is pretty small. And if you were thinking, oh, well, I'll hike past it because I'm feeling good today and it's not late enough, just know it's about 2 miles before you get to a place in the forest that is thin enough you could probably find a place to pitch a tent. It is a pretty narrow wall from the time you cross the highway until about mile 85 or so. There are just not a lot of options for camping in there. Now, from mile 85 to 87 in here, there have been lots of options to camp. That is mildly unnerving.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure those are BBs. You know, it's funny how the mile markers can really determine your state of mind. The faster they come, the more good you feel, the better you feel, the faster you feel like you're going, you're making progress. But when you miss one somewhere in between, suddenly it feels like an eternity before you get there. .44 miles.
We've got it. We're done.
You have any deep thoughts?
It's going about as deep as Whataburger. That's how deep these thoughts are at the moment. But we're done. I get to sleep in my own bed tonight. That's a good thing. It's good. It's a good hike. Nice trail, most of it, except the road and the swamp.
I'm in amazing shape. Although I'm standing at 96.5, I've only completed 76.5. So I'll come back and do the rest.
But
of
show
it.
them what you accomplished while you were coming to pick us up today.
Yeah, we did get a lot of trash. There was a lot of trash laying around this trailhead. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 96.44 miles. It was a good adventure. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you for the next one.